Hello and welcome. My name is Scott Pierce. I'm managing partner with Clear Vision Investment Group, your one-stop resource for Arizona investment property. I'm joined today by Jeff Fassett. Jeff's a 10-year veteran of the Phoenix real estate market, associate broker with Pro America Realty, and actually vice president of real estate for Investment Property Alliance, a 2-year-old real estate investment company that deals with rehab property. So he definitely is an expert, has a lot of experience buying real estate. And what he's going to talk to you today is some of the components of what to do and possibly what not to do when buying Arizona investment property. So Jeff, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. When you purchase property, you have a lot of experience with this. What are the most important components that you look for?
Well, really the biggest thing is location. And Phoenix is an enormous valley, and you hear a lot about a $30,000 house, but it's not going to be in an area that you want to go after dark most of the time. So really location is going to be a major component, something that's very important. And then just the type of property. You know, we're typically just buying houses right now, but yeah.
Well, how do you do your research on that? How do you determine? Are there certain tools that you use and resources available?
Right. A lot of it just comes from experience, just being in the valley for the last 30 plus years, just growing up here, and then having my real estate license for about the past 10. You really get to know the value and the areas that there's value in the houses. So we're typically in an area that we've been doing quite well in for the last 5 or 6 years. So we know that area well. Okay, great.
There's a lot of people that are going to be watching this and not be familiar with the Arizona real estate market. Now, with the resources available to those people that they can utilize?
Sure. Really, the best resource is probably going to be to find a local agent that knows the area. Mm-hmm. And like I said, this valley is massive, and so there's parts of the valley that I don't ever even go to. But in the area that we're in, I know quite a bit about. So that would be the best resource, to find somebody that's local and that can really walk you through and knows the lay of the land. But there's also the MaricopaCounty.gov website, the police websites, the school websites will really give you an indication of the type of area with the crime rates and the school ratings and that kind of stuff.
Okay, great. And when you're doing your analysis of a property, what type of emphasis do you put on the market value piece?
Right. Well, obviously I have the access to the multiple listing service, and so I can review what's sold for the last 6 months or so in a neighborhood or in an area, what's pending or what's under contract, what's coming up on the market, what's active. And so it's important to look at a property that's similar to the one that you're trying to buy, whether it be one that's reconditioned. It's hard to compare that to a bank-owned property that needs $12 or $15 or $20,000 worth of work. So that's an important component to have to understand the market that you're dealing in, to really get a good value on the property. Because ultimately, if you buy it too high, it's going to be hard to sell it down the road.
Mm-hmm. And probably have a big impact on your profit margin and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. In terms of a return, if you buy it for 120 and it's only worth 100, it's going to diminish your returns and, in the long run, take money out of your pocket.
Well, do you guys have a specific formula that you use that maybe an investor could use coming into it, saying, hey, if the property's worth 120, I buy it for X? Do you have a threshold there?
Right. Typically what we'll do is we'll value the property when it's rehab, with everything new inside, with the flooring and, everything moved in ready. And then we'll back out all of our closing costs with the title fees, loan costs for the new buyer, commissions, any expenses that we're going to put into the property, say it's $15,000 to $20,000, and then a profit margin that we've built in there. So typically we're trying to buy it at about 60% of that value, and we found that usually works pretty well.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, and where are you finding the best deals right now? What part of the valleys are you guys focused on?
Yeah, there's really a lot of deals out there. We focus in the Northwest Valley, but what we're seeing is a huge push towards the center part of the city. So, like I mentioned, Phoenix is a massive valley, and 3-4 years ago, the only place you could find affordable housing was 45 minutes out of town or an hour out of town.
Sure.
And people got frustrated with having an hour-long commute both directions. So those houses have dropped in value, but so has everything inside the kind of the 101. We have the Loop 101 here. And so we're seeing a lot of people moving back into the city or the central areas of the city. So that's been where we're finding the most success, is the interior parts of the city versus the outliers.
Because obviously, the population demographic, where people are moving, that's has a huge impact on resale of a property and a potential rental market too. So, okay, good. That's a great point. Now, what property types typically are you seeing? I mean, condo, single family, residences.
Right. We're focusing 100% in single family residences, detached homes, and we're buying everything with a three bedrooms, 2 baths, and at least a 2-car carport, preferably a garage.
Okay.
And then a pool or not, that doesn't matter. But and we're seeing that the reason for this is that people that are moving out of houses that they purchased and had to let go or foreclosed on want to move into another house, and so it's hard to move from a house into an apartment, and so they're looking for places to either rent for a couple years while they get their credit repaired, or just move into, whether they have cash or financing. So single family residence, a detached house is definitely the strongest part of the market.
Okay. All right. So you're a real estate expert here in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and for an investor that's just coming into the market that doesn't have the experience that you do, what would be one tip that you'd give that person?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to find somebody that's locally that knows the market that you're looking to invest in, and use them as a primary resource, and then the next thing would be to do your own due diligence. So if you pair up, you're doing a little bit of research in terms of the crime in the schools and the location in terms of the valley with a local expert or somebody that knows the market that you're looking to invest in, would be the great marriage between the two to really try to protect yourself in the long run.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Jeff, and stay tuned with Clear Vision Investment Group for all your resources to become a successful real estate investor. Thanks.